Celtic Soundbite Airbase Volume 1, the 17th of the 1st, 2013, produced by MacLad1888. Hail, hail troops, and God bless until the next time. Enjoy.
The supporters and Neil Lennon will address the crowd.
Turning to non-football matters first, how important is the backing you've had throughout this club been to you personally?
Well, it's been a great source of comfort and an inspiration, really, not just to me, but to my backroom staff, the board, and certainly the players. This is why we love this club. You've seen today what the supporters bring. They've been magnificent all season.
Talking of that incredible Celtic support, how important is that to you and to the team going forward next season?
Well, for me, this isn't the end, this is just the beginning.
You've brought the style and the passion back, and are you looking forward to taking that through to the Scottish Cup final next Saturday?
Well, of course, the reason I took this job on was to win silverware. It's a disappointing day today. We got one more piece of silverware to win, and the players will be given everything to bring back something for their efforts this season. We as a club this season have nothing to reproach ourselves for. The board, the supporters, the players, they've dealt with a lot of issues with great dignity. The players have played with real panache and style. We've tried to entertain all season. I think a lot of other people in the game here need to have a good look at themselves in the mirror.
We want to wish you all the very best for next Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Neil Lennon!
Manchester is 1-0 Celtic! 52 and it's got a goal! Wedley with a header from a corner! Don't you just love that noise? Celtic at top of the league! And can you hear? 15 points behind and 1 point! 1 out to in front! The title's in the bag, Yelovich! Is it really? Is it really? No, it's not! Get away of here! Pole position for going into the new year. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved of our hearts. The arms of our angels. We shall not be moved. Oh, it's been too long since we heard that at Celtic Park. And the Tana is playing you to his New Year's Day. And I just can't seem to get it.
course all of them though. The 15-1 jokes will have to end. I'll just take this opportunity to wish everybody listening Happy New Year, Happy New Year, oh, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Hail, hail.
Celtic an incredible lead with a Miller header against Barcelona! What a noise, Paul! Bartek has erupted. Victor Wanyama goes at the far post. And what a header that was! Absolutely brilliant in the pass. Victor Valdez, no chance. And the Celtic's first shot at Derby, they have the lead against Barcelona. Almost exactly at the same time as Tottenham Samaras scored the new cup. Well, Victor Wanyama, incredible. I think he's almost got the roof off paradise here. I know how Lionel. Oh, here's Tony Watt. It's a chance for Tony Watt. Can he be the hero? He's scored! It's a goal! Tony Watt! It's Celtic 2! Barcelona 2! I can hardly believe my eyes. Unbelievable! Celtic in Finland. Tony Watt in one. Astonishing scenes in Celtic Park. I think the roof has just come off the stadium. Barcelona stand. Celtic 2, Barcelona 2. Incredible! Wow! It's incredible! 21! Oh, there's a substitute! He raced through! There's a chance to be a hero! And he's looking to be a Victor Valdez! It's incredible! It's absolutely incredible! Celtic 2!
These are the supporters who will raise the roof at Celtic Park. These are the fans that the club
Samaras gets round the goalkeeper. Giorgio Samaras for Celtic ahead in 62 minutes. Then it comes towards Hooper. Hooper brings it under control, and Hooper fires Celtic ahead. It's a high one. Stokes brings it out there. Overhead kick, fancy into the net. And that is tremendous for Anthony Stokes. Still Forrest shoots, and it's in the back of the net. That is a glorious left-footed shot. Anthony Stokes plays it through, and it's a goal for the Irishman! Commons lifts it in, left-footed ball, and into the net it goes! And what a debut from Chris Commons!
the football, right?
The way you heard the fans through the television, everybody's raving about that, about the atmosphere. So they should be pleased about that, because they were absolutely fantastic yesterday. Beating Barcelona with the team they have now as well has to be the best experience. Beats everything I've been involved in myself. But this shows everybody that are involved with Celtic that everything is possible, and can they bring that spirit and that atmosphere towards every game? Yeah, you don't know where it's going to end.
Play from Chris Commons, he found the run of Danny Hooper. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Hooperman. A goal from absolutely nothing. They've tore the Rangers defence apart. He's taken on Davy Weir, who's been left for dead. And Danny Hooper, who scored here in the first Old Firm game of the season, has put the ball past the legs of Alan McGregor. It's Celtic 1, Rangers 0. He's in. He's into centre box, in towards Danny Hooper! Goal Celtic! Is that it now? Is it over already? Fantastic goal for Celtic! Brilliant play on the counter-attack. Samaras found the run of Izagiri. He spotted the run of Danny Hooper. Hooper scores his second of the game at Parkhead. Celtic 2, Rangers 0, and Rangers are not happy.
Let's go to Dougie in Glasgow. Dougie, welcome.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, sir.
Good. No, I was just listening to George here. I wasn't going to phone up, but you've been given the old Rangers supporters a bit of stick tonight.
I haven't been given. I've never mentioned the word Rangers. I've never mentioned it. I said when somebody texted me and they mentioned Rangers, I said I didn't mention Rangers, and I haven't mentioned Rangers.
You did. You mentioned it.
What did I say,
Dougie?
Dougie?
A stick.
What did I say?
Well, you're giving them pelters.
Dougie, are you drunk or what? I have not mentioned the word Rangers except to say I haven't mentioned the word Rangers.
George,
you're obviously listening to the wrong show, Dougie. Must have been all that talk about the Pope and Roman Catholics and stuff.
Celtic Commons, it's a high one into the box and into the net, and that is Mark Wilson, his first ever goal for Celtic at the near post.
But that is classic set-piece goal.
Left-footed ball through for Ledley inside the box. He cuts it back. Chance! And a goal from Chris Commons in the 16th minute with his left foot. Brings Celtic back into this Scottish Cup match. Rangers penalty box, 6 yards from goal now. Ball across the face of goal was good, over a few heads, picked up at the back post by Wilson. Papak standing off on Brown, picks it up at the edge of the box, and into the net. Scott Brown with his left foot and stands right in front of El Hadjoub and brings the tie level, and that is remarkable from Scott Brown.
Commons, good ball there from Izagiri. Plays it across looking for Hooper. Hooper's inside the box, a chance! Oh, it's a wonder goal from Gary Hooper! A That's a goal that Dennis Bergkamp would be proud of. Gary Hooper's first touch took him beyond Bagheera, and his second touch took it under Alan McGregor. That is clinical. Samaras over the halfway line. Izagiri's ahead of him. Plays it through. He stayed onside. Still Izagiri. Plays that cross for Hooper. It's a goal for Gary Hooper. It's 2-0. That's a wonderful move. A wonderful ball from Samaras. At full stretch, Gary Hooper has made it 2-0 to Celtic. Gary Hooper across to Commons. Commons in the edge of the box. Still Chris Commons. It's a goal! Chris Commons! He's played 2 games against Rangers. He's scored 2 goals against Rangers. It's 3-0 and Paradise is rocking!
Celtic
Of course, is the only Rangers player to have scored against Celtic this season, Thompson, and he's on form too. Chris Sutton holds off Frank de Boer and wins the Old Firm match in the first minute of stoppage time.
The ball just up in the air. It's Larsson to Sutton. He's on to it. He's strong, and he knows exactly what he's doing. Tips it over the top. It's Kevin Kloss giving the Rangers goalkeeper absolutely no chance of saving it. You've got to say it's a tremendous goal from Sutton.
Well, there's some pretty unsavoury afters going on at the moment.
Absolutely fantastic night, and it will be a fantastic night for Neil Lennon as well. Let's hear from him now. He's with David Tanner.
Neil, many congratulations. You've beaten Barcelona now as a manager. Where does this rank in your career achievements?
It's right up there with one of my proudest nights in my career. It's just a monumental effort from all those players tonight, and on the anniversary of the club, you know, it's a very special occasion. I wanted them to do themselves justice tonight, and they've even surpassed that. They've just beaten the best team in the world, and they got two of the stiffest examinations they'll ever get in their career, and they've come through it with flying colours.
Before the game, you were looking at a squad decimated by injury and this afternoon illness in the case of your captain. What was it that got them through it?
Team spirit, well, teamwork, discipline, a bit of belief. We felt we could affect them at corners, and we knew that the back post area with Alba, he was zonal. We knew we could threaten that, and I mean, Charlie Mulgrew is one of the best dead balls players around, and his delivery was magnificent. And Wanyama, who just keeps getting better and better, you know, scores a great goal for us, and then you weather the storm, or you try and weather the storm, and you know it's coming, and there's not a lot you can do about it. But we saw it through. Young Tony comes on when a few of them are down on their feet, haven't given everything, and gives us a new lease of life and scores a brilliant second goal, and he's going to go down in the history books now of the club, and it's fantastic. I'm so pleased. We've waited a long time to get back into this competition. Club's been a wee bit in the doldrums, but you know, I'm not saying this is the pinnacle, because I think there's more to come from this team, but you know, the progression's great.
What about qualification to the last 16? Might that be the thing that's still to come?
Well, it gives us a great chance. I mean, you know, the Benfica beat Spartak, so I mean, they're still on our tails, and we've got to go to Benfica now and try and use our game again. But we'll cross our bridge when we come to it. I want them to enjoy the evening, enjoy the moment, and get back to domestic duties on Saturday. But these are special nights here, and when I took the job on, I said I want to bring the thunder back, and I've never seen the atmosphere as good as that.
I think we get thunder and lightning tonight. Neil, well done. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. Cheers.
Incredible result.
Hampden Park. Celtic on the left, Rangers on the right. The Scottish Cup final between two of the greatest rivals north of the border. This was the third meeting of the clubs in the final since the war. It promised to be quite a match, and it was. Rangers kicked off in fine style with a promising attack, but they were up against a keen and very strong team who weren't going to be flurried easily. From their clearance, Celtic mounted a counter-move in no-nonsense style, which swept down the left wing and won them an all-important corner. There'd been less than 2 minutes of play when Old put the ball across for McNeil to head it home. Sensation! What a shot for Rangers, and what a pity that it resulted in storm tactics that were to mar the rest of the match. The Celtic defence was formidable, and tempers flared easily. The rough stuff wasn't confined to the field either. Still, Rangers worked hard to make up their deficit, but Celtic were quick to clear and retaliate positively. With half-time looming up, the jet-propelled Lennox raced past Matheson and beat Martin with a great shot. Rangers were stunned by their 2-goal deficit. They'd made bad defence mistakes, and they weren't having much success with their attacks. As Celtic got rid of the danger, Rangers were on the verge of another blunder. Connolly made it 3-0. Happy were the Celtic fans at half-time, and no wonder. The cup seemed to be safely theirs, and their team were having it nearly all their own way. Play was fast and furious. Rangers were certainly desperate to get a look in. There was never any danger of Celtic losing their grip of the cup. Those scoring possibilities seemed to be diminishing on both sides, despite some near misses. Celtic's attacks were less frequent, but when they did launch into the offensive, they were cool, clear and concise and very dangerous. This move was a perfect example of the way they grabbed every chance. Chalmers made it 4-0. That's well and truly captain. Celtic had again proved themselves Scotland's top team. A lot of matchgoers strongly disapproved of Celtic's obvious victory, but it was a clear-cut and well-deserved win by a fine team. The police had to move in and clear the pitch, but it was all over anyway. Celtic had mastered Rangers emphatically to win their 20th cup. Who could blame the players and the crowd for their jubilation on this big day of soccer?
وفي كرة جول 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 فيكتور ونياما ولعها ونياما أشعلها ونياما مدرجات السلتيك بارك في حالة غليان في حالة هيجان هو فيكتور ونياما.
Quite remarkable scenes here. Yeah, just extraordinary to see the whole stadium, which is doing a huddle. It's a remarkable sight, and something new with the Celtic supporters this season, and I think so attractive to see. A real atmosphere inside this stadium, despite the disappointment.
Oh, I think it's terrific. It reflects very well on these Celtic supporters. The fact that they're not turning their team in any way whatsoever in view of the news from Kilmarnock.
The Scottish Football Podcast from BBC Radio Scotland. Hello there, I'm Richard Gordon and you're listening to a free football podcast from the BBC. Today's podcast coming from the Sports End programme of Sunday the 13th of April. It was party time for Celtic at home to Hearts. Gary Hooper scored all 5 as they rounded off their championship winning season with a 5-0 thumping of the Tynecastle side.
Here's where the SPL season ends for Celtic, and it ends in a glorious 5-0 win. The campaign finished in style by the champions, and it's been the Gary Hooper show. A hat-trick in the first half, 2 more in the second half. He might just have scored a double hat-trick had Paddy McCourt measured his pass right at the end a little bit better. But it's been a masterclass in goal scoring, and all that's left now is the trophy presentation. Celtic 5, Hearts 0.
The SPL, live on Sports Sound.
What a stunning afternoon for Gary Hooper. All sorts of stats being rewritten. In the midst of that afternoon, as Rob said, he did get his 50th goal for the club. He has finished with 24 SPL goals this season. He's on to 44 all told, and he's become just the 3rd player to score 5 goals in an SPL match. It has been his day. 5 goals for the striker. He joins Kenny Miller and Chris Boyd as the only players that have scored SPL hat-tricks. Kenny got the first one against St Mirren for Rangers back in November 2000. Chris Boyd scored 1 each, a 5 for Killie, a 5 for Rangers, both against Dundee United, 1 in 2004, 1 in 2009. And now Gary Hooper with a sensational, absolutely sensational afternoon for him. He scored 20 SPL goals last season. He scored 24 this season. He's ended the campaign on 29 goals all told, and as Rob told you during the commentary, went through the 50 marks. All about him, all about his finishing, but a very, very comfortable, comprehensive victory for Celtic against Hearts this afternoon. They're just getting the podium set up down on the pitch, down in the centre circle, along. It's like an episode of the Krypton Factor. Murdo, they've been given all these shapes, the guys down there. They've got to try to make them all fit into a presentation podium.
Yeah, just incredible, isn't it? The atmosphere we've got singing on just now, singing You'll Never Walk Alone, but all the Celtic fans just really enjoyed their afternoon. Build up, you always fear a wee bit, the game doesn't go properly for you, but beat Hearts 5-0, one player getting all 5 goals, it's wonderful.
Yeah, they're getting all set. They've got a couple of fencing structures down there. They've got the photographers down there, the cameramen are down there as well, the Neil Lennon and his backroom team, and all the players will be re-emerging. They will get the presentation of Celtic's 43rd Scottish League title in all told. It's a 7th, of course, in the SPL. 7 for Celtic, 7 for Rangers has been the split so far in the 14 seasons of the SPL. A good finish to the campaign for Rangers, winning 4-0 at St Johnstone. Good finish for Dundee United too, winning 2-0 at Motherwell, and an excellent finish here at Celtic Park for the champions. 5-0 against Hearts. As I mentioned, they finished on 93 points. They scored 84 goals in their 38 games, conceded just 21 along the way. Very, very dominant, very worthy champions, and the fans currently being entertained. They've been trying to make it a real party atmosphere, and as Murdo says, quite often on these occasions it falls flat. Well, there was no chance of that this afternoon. They were 2-0 up within the first 8 minutes, and Gary Hooper went on to score a 5. Shoria Luka with a hat-trick for Rangers. Very, in some ways, actually, Murdo, kind of similar to some of the shootouts we've had on the final day in the past, with Celtic and Rangers both going for big wins, albeit we didn't have the intensity of this one. There was nothing really up for stake.
Well, you're looking at both of them having to get a few goals in the last game of the season, and still take care of Hearts. For me, there's a no-show from Hearts this afternoon, but Rangers going up to St Johnstone, there was something for St Johnstone. If they could have won that game, Richard, and Hearts losing today, there was something meaningful for them, but they both finished with so many goals. Last game of the season, it just lets you know that they're still at it, the Old Firm.
Incidentally, quite apart from beating their nearest rivals to win the Scottish Cup, the other incentive that will add on for Hearts is if they do qualify through winning the Scottish Cup, they go into the Europa League qualifiers 2 rounds later than they would should they go in as having qualified for finishing in 5th place. And remember, St Johnstone can still get into those qualifiers if Hearts do indeed win the Scottish Cup. Hibs win the Scottish Cup, as they will be hoping to do, then St Johnstone will miss out and Hearts will go in at the second qualifying round. It will be Hearts, Dundee United, Motherwell and Celtic as it stands, with either Hibernian or St Johnstone snatching that final Europa League qualifier. Great scenes of celebration all around Celtic Park. Some sections of the fans doing their huddle as they bounce up and down, others just looking on, watching down the pitch, waiting eagerly for the arrival of their heroes down below. Tony Hamilton is in charge of these things down pitch side. He's just looking around, making sure that everything is in place. The presentation party down there, we can see the little tray that's got all the medals on it, and it'll be really rewarding, I'm sure, satisfying for those Celtic players. It's been 3 successive seasons that they've had to watch Rangers lift that championship. It's been a long wait for the Celtic players, these Celtic fans. You can hear what it means to the Celtic fans, and now it all just settles down, that hush before the players re-emerge. Incidentally, in the midst of all that, the other thing that Gary Hooper has done today is actually gone ahead of Farid El Alagoui as the top scorer in Scottish football entirely this season. The Falkirk striker was on 28. You didn't imagine for a minute that Hooper would overtake him on the final day. Well, he has done, and he's gone on to 29 as we await the arrival of the Celtic players. We heard briefly there from Paulo Sergio, quite right. I think he really didn't want to dwell on his team's performance. It is all about next week for the Hearts. Meantime, they're getting the party sorted out down there on the podium. The snappers are all just waiting, anxiously looking over their shoulder, and now the cheers will ring out because Fraser Forster is the first of the Celtic players to emerge, followed by all those who played this afternoon. One or two of the subs as well, one or two kind of limping as they make their way out there, and suddenly a bit of pyrotechnics, and you can feel the blast of the heat as it surges back up the stand. Bit of smoke down there as well. All the players, all the squad players, those who have not been involved this afternoon, all making their way out as well, and down onto the podium there where they're handed over the medals and get the little handshakes from the presentation party. Gary Hooper turns around and just waves to his dad, who's in the stand just a few feet away from us to our left. Familiar figure here at Celtic Park. What an afternoon it was for the number 88. You can hear the just trying to work out what they're doing. They've got pictures up on the big screens, and they've got the Celtic players giving their Christian name, 22, and they're getting their Celtic fans to fill in the gaps. Nice touch, and just adding to the occasion there. And thankfully all the Celtic fans recognise all those players. Anyway, they're still handing out these medals. Seem to strike an awful lot more medals than they used to do in your day, Murdo. You needed to play 10 games, I think it was, to even come close to having a chance of getting one of those prize medals. Anyway, the squad, bit by bit, making their way up onto the party there. Still, the medals are being handed out. Still, they've been draped over the necks of all the players who are there. The trophy sits resplendent and shining on the podium there, and all the players are waiting to get their hands on it.
Scott Brown, the captain, has just come into the tunnel. He has been held back. Obviously he's the man who'll be getting the trophy. Neil Lennon hasn't emerged yet either, although he's coaching assistants are out there. Alan Thompson, Gary Parker have gone out, so too is Johan Mjalby. But here comes Scott Brown, the captain, out the tunnel now.
No surprise there is such a huge cheer for the captain. What a season he has had. What a popular figure he is. The chants of Bruni all around the stadium. He turns, he applauds all around the stadium. He makes his way up towards the podium. There is applause for him. There's applause now for the management team. Gary Parker, Alan Thompson, Johan Mjalby and Stephen Woods. And now the manager. Big cheer, of course, for the manager, who turns in applause. Already the players on the podium are bouncing up and down. Scott Brown's just in behind. The scene is set here at Celtic Park. Neil Lennon waves to his adoring fans all round. The announcements are made in the background. Neil Lennon makes his way up to the podium. He too will be getting the medal draped around his neck. The players continue to bounce. They're eager to get on with the celebrations. And you can hear the big countdown in the background as Scott Brown waits to get his hands on that piece of silverware. The trophy is handed to Scott Brown. Celtic Clydesdale Bank Premier League champions 2011-2012. And the pyrotechnics, the fireworks flashing off all round the pitch there. The players bouncing up and down. The ticker tape is set off after a wait of 3 years, and for the 43rd time in all, Celtic are champions of Scotland, and the fans are ringing the songs out all round the stadium. Murdo, it must be moments like this where you wish you could turn the clock back, eh?
You want to be part of it, Richard. It's a fantastic feeling. I know the fans are loving it, but when you're a football player and you've won the title, but to actually get your hands on the cup there, it's just a fantastic feeling. And even better, I think, Richard, when you come off the podium and you walk round the park to show the trophy off to the other fans.
It is a great moment as a player. It is the reward for all the hard work. I see down below me Peter Lawwell just making his way off the pitch alongside Neil Doncaster. Got the check.
Peter, I want a brief word. I know you want to leave the players to it, but a magnificent achievement.
Magnificent, considering where we were last October, the way to come back. It's just been phenomenal, and to win it with such a margin, great credit to Neil, the lads and the players. Just a wonderful, wonderful achievement.
Just a wee word that what the fans sing right on cue. Neil Lennon, I'm just about to ask you about the job he's done for you.
He's done a magnificent job. Young guy come in, the intensity of being the Celtic manager, you really have to be in the job to experience. He's coped with it remarkably well, despite all the other nonsense that was going on around his life. He's a very, very strong character, a very intelligent guy. He knows football, and he'll be one of the greats, I'm sure.
You would, I know you went to a wee party and celebrate tonight, but immediately, of course, Champions League campaign. What happens to this summer at Celtic Park?
Well, we're hoping to, like every transfer window, we hope to come out stronger than we go in, and that'll be the intention this year. We're really excited about the prospect of getting in the Champions League again. That's where a club like Celtic should be, and the fans can rest assured we'll do all we possibly can to make that happen.
When you look at this atmosphere in here, Peter, that's inspiration for you.
There's no place like it. There's no place like this.
Congratulations, Peter.
Peter Lawwell, he wasn't keen to talk, but of course Chick persuaded him in his own inimitable way. Got a few words there from the chief executive. The players have turned to all four corners, all four stands of this ground, and shown the silverware. Some of the players want, I'm not quite who it is they're shouting on. Maybe it's Stevie Woods, the goalkeeping coach, who's dipped out of the limelight. I think they want them back up there. There's a bit of shouting going on. Anyway, the photographs will be...
They're trying to get Tim Williamson, the physio, onto the team picture, and Tim is too shy. He's in the tunnel giving a little bit coy look at all of that. Let's see if we get a word with the manager, one or two. The players here, I think we're going to do a lap on there first of all. We're going to get some, I think Charlie Magoo's wanting a drink. Maybe one myself.
There might be some t-shirts that they might be heading off to get.
Then coming out is what the indications are at the moment. So we will be speaking to the players, Richard, but Scott Brown, of course, is someone in that. It's Bangura with his arm around. I thought he was trying to throttle him at the moment. There's a man. How many games did Bangura play? He's got a championship medal. There you go.
I'm not quite sure about how they're working. I think they give them a certain amount. It seems to me like just about everybody who's been involved at all this season has been given a trophy, a medal.
I think Bangura was 14, 15 games he was involved in, so I think that gets some medal.
Well, Neil Lennon is down there. He has got the trophy. The snapper's just trying to get him in position, holding up that huge silver trophy so that they can get photographs, the first of many, of course, that will be taken over the course, not only by the professional photographers, but all the fans around the stadium. They've all got their phones out, their camera phones. They'll be taking the snaps. It will be very, very special to each and every one of them. The players have gone back up the tunnel. They will be re-emerging to go in the lap of honour. Meantime, Neil Lennon has taken the trophy and he's heading over in the direction right now of the Green Brigade across in the far corner there, the most vociferous part of the Celtic support. They set up all sorts of flag and banner displays. He's going across the shoulder.
Yes, I've got Alan Thompson with me. Alan, congratulations, game over.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. You know, won it 4 times as a player. You tend to forget what happens on the day, but I'm just trying to savour the moment at the minute.
Imagine you've been right beside Neil Lennon all the way. It's been a traumatic at times. It's been joyous today. What's it been like for you?
Listen, it's been up and down. He's been the figurehead, and he's led and we followed. And with a support like this, we just want to take it on again.
And what can this team achieve, Alan? Are you caught for Europe?
Well, we'd like to get in the Champions League group stages. See where we go from there.
Yeah, I mentioned Gary Hooper. He did play well today.
Not bad, eh? He's been fantastic, and you know, a lot of them. You couldn't pick one out. But Gary scored 5 goals today, and obviously it's great for him. But the team performance was brilliant.
Do you think this team can achieve something within the Champions League in terms of getting into the group stages?
Well, we have to be positive and set our sights on high standards. And teams have qualified out the group stages before who haven't expected to. So we're just delighted that we've got the opportunity to do that.
Man, I'll enjoy your night.
Alan Thompson there with check. Neil Lennon, I mentioned, he'd gone across to the part of the pitch just in front of the Green Brigade. He went across, he showed them the trophy, he put it down, he stepped back, he raised both hands, he then applauded them, and he walked away, and he's left the trophy sitting on the pitch, or just off the pitch, across the far corner there, right in front of the Green Brigade. And now one of the Celtic officials is getting booed because he's gone across and he's picked the trophy up and he's bringing him back. I'm sure Neil Lennon just assumed that the players would pick it up again as they went round on their lap of honour, but it's being brought back in a couple of Strathclyde's finest, just wandering along there as well, making sure that nobody fancies taking that trophy home with them for a little souvenir. The fans all standing all around the stadium, all smiles, of course, still the flags and scarves waving, and they're waiting to see these players re-emerge and to applaud them once more and to celebrate with them once more. See Neil Doncaster standing on the pitch just over the way to our left, arms folded. He's had a fatal season, hasn't he, as chief executive of the SPL, and there's more to come as the Rangers story rumbles on. It's all about Celtic, of course, here this afternoon.
Yeah, Rich, it's quite interesting because Alan Thompson, just after I spoke to him, tried to get into the tunnel with the players, and something's bolted the door. There's a door that swings across the tunnel. He's had that bolted, he's now managed to get it open and up the turn. That'd be quite interesting. I remember that occasion actually when Hearts won the cup here. They beat Rangers in the final, was it 98? And remember, it was that Gary Locke couldn't get out the tunnel to couple the players, and I managed to get him out the tunnel. Here's Neil Lennon. I'm going to try and have a word with him now as he watches the talk, wave to fans. Neil, congratulations, well done. That was you just saving the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, because you live for days like this, you know, last 2 years, and culminates in a day like this, so yeah, it's a brilliant feeling.
Talk me through the gesture with the trophy over to the Green Brigade.
Well, they've been right behind us from day one, and they bring the colour, bring the music, bring the atmosphere, and you know, it's as much for them as it is for the players and everyone else.
It hardly seems relevant to talk about the game today because it wasn't just about the game, but Gary Hooper.
It's tremendous. Delighted for him. You know, he wanted to finish leading goal scorer, and he's done that emphatically, and just showed what a great player he is. But there's some fantastic performances out there today. The team as a whole, but Wanyama, Samaras, Mulgrew, Brown, Ledley, I could go through the whole lot of them. You know, it'd be unfair just to single one or two of them out because great team performance.
Listen, I've just talked to Alan Thompson about you. I'd like you to talk about the guys who are closest to you and have helped you through all this.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a difficult period in October, but we for a couple of months, but we stuck at it, and them guys have, we're a different blend. You know, Johan very analytical, Tom a bit more emotional, but they all know the game, and Gary does a great job for me as well.
Just the team going out, just any particular heroes you'd like to talk out? Or the players coming out now to go up on any of the lads you'd like to mention?
Oh, they're all heroes. You know, there's some of them haven't played today, like Forrest and Keith Young. But you know, the likes of Mulgrew, Wanyama, Samaras, Hooper, they're all heroes to me, and there's not one of them we haven't made a huge contribution. Joe Ledley, you know, just unfussy but so consistent. So it's a great day for them, and I want them to remember it for a long, long time.
Enjoy your day, Neil. Congratulations.
The players are coming out. They don't have the special T-shirts on. I just wondered if that's perhaps what they've gone back up for. But what they do have is all their kids. It's a lovely kind of family moment. There are a lot of very young, very bewildered-looking children out in that park. Some other family members as well. Yes, Chick.
Sorry, Victor. How are you? Fantastic. You enjoying this?
Yeah, I've enjoyed. It was a very good game, and we won the league, so I'm very happy.
Is this, there's something special. You've created a very special relationship with the Celtic support. They seem to have fallen in love with you.
I've been working hard, and we have been playing well, and our fans, they have been behind us through bad times and good times, and we had to work harder to give them something back, and we did by winning the trophy.
Fantastic atmosphere in here today.
Yeah, today it was a very good atmosphere over here, and we enjoyed. That's why we did well.
Okay, Victor, enjoy your day.
Victor Wanyama heading off to join the rest of his teammates, and Chick's going to have a wee slow wander around.
It's funny, Richard, see when you're a player and you see all your teammates walking round there and showing the trophy off to the fans. You hated somebody interviewing you because you weren't part of your team, so you were desperate just to get back up and walk with your team.
Yeah, you want to get back up in there, get in the photographs. Very, very. I mean, it's touching, watching some of the players with their wee kids. Just like Joe Ledley, he's got a tiny wee girl just toddling along beside him.
I think that's maybe my pace. Joe, you're going at my kind of pace here. I can maybe keep up with you. She looks gorgeous in a little dress. It's a great day for you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This is going to stay with us for the rest of our lives, and we played great football this season, and we deserve to win the league, and we're just happy to finally lift the trophy.
I'm just wondering what she'll be thinking about one day when you tell her about all this, and you remember all this as well, of course, when you're her own man.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to stay with us for the rest of our lives, and it's fantastic to get a little one on the pitch, and for my family to see me lift the trophy as well.
It's a very special football club, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. The fans have been fantastic all season, and they've been behind us. Even when things wasn't going right at the beginning of the season, but they stuck by us, and we knew we could perform much better, and we finally did.
There's a bit of a dance there, I'm sure you don't worry. What's the little one's name?
Layla.
She's gorgeous. Congratulations. Enjoy your day, Joe.
Yeah, that little dance that Chick was talking about there, I think it was Rabiu Ibrahim, Mo Bangura and Victor Wanyama had put the trophy down, and they were doing some form of dance around it, certainly showing some, well, as Chick might say, busting some moves down there on the pitch. Incredible scenes, of course, here.
Check, there'll be a few of the boys.
Remember elsewhere today, a 4-0 win for Rangers, 2-0 win for Dundee United at St Johnstone and Motherwell, respectively. We'll be getting a reaction from there. We'll also be hearing from Charles Green.
Sorry, Richard, it's cut across you. George Samaras with me, George. It's been a great season. One of your best for Celtic, you think?
For the moment that we won the championship today, it's a great season for all of us. We work really hard. And here we are, we improved our talent and our quality from last season, and I think we deserve to be the champions.
You really have turned your season around personally, haven't you? You were in and out of the team, but you become a key player at Celtic.
I always feel good with myself, and I always feel that I can give more in this club. And I had a chat with my manager, and he understands me, I understand him, and here I am. I have more to give in this club, and I'm 5 years here and just love every single day.
Do you think, we've been talking about the Champions League, do you think Celtic have a team that can do well in Europe next year?
I hope so. I hope that we stay in the same team. Not many players going to leave the team, the key players. I think even if they have a chance to go to the Premier League, I think it's better to stay here and try to play Champions League. That's something big in this club. We have the quality and we have the players. The only I want to say is that stick in the same players, because we're a talent team and we have a great future.
George, you're going to enjoy your day. The fans want to see you. Thank you very much.
Georgia Samras there. Neil Lennon was being interviewed by the club TV. They were beaming that on the screens. They then had a montage which they're still showing of Neil Lennon as a player, and some very young looking shots of him up there, I've got to say. They even found one of him scoring a goal against Dunfermline, which was a very, it couldn't have been the only goal, but he certainly didn't get many. goals a player. His attributes were elsewhere, of course, the team. Now lots of shots of him as a manager. Some looking very happy and exciting, some looking very, very animated indeed as they celebrate the manager. Chick.
Charlie, I'm going to work with Charlie McGreevy. Just got to round up the family first, Charlie. What a season! I see you keep interviewing you with yet another trophy. Player of the Year again tonight. Wow, what a season you've had.
It's been great. To win the title the way we have has been brilliant, and to better our points tally for last year is just an extra bonus. But today's results showed that we were true champions, and we're going to enjoy this moment.
Yeah, you could never have believed at the start of the year that with everything you've won, Player of the Year, Clydesdale Bank Player of the Year, Players Player of the Year, champions, and the captain's armband at one stage today as well.
Yeah, it's been great. I've been a captain a couple of times this year, so obviously that's a dream come true. Winning all the personal awards is great. It's like a dream come true, to be honest, but I mean next year we'll be looking to do even better as a team and individually.
Charlie, I know you want to go get that party. I think it started already.
All right, cheers.
You talk about dream seasons. I can't believe anyone has seen just quite such an upturn in their fortunes as Charlie Mulgrew has in the past 12 months. Remarkable. Still the lap of honour continues. Chickus wandering along.
He's Charlie Mulgrew's a young lad, all left foot as well, so I'm not surprised. Knocked the ball about round here. You wonder, Richard, what these lads will grow up and think. I don't know if those kids are in the park any time, but they grow up and think, did that really happen to me? And when you recall it, fantastic occasion when you stand.
I'm sure that would have been frowned upon back in Murdo's day, taking kids onto the pitch.
I think mine came up in the latter stages, Richard, but early on the kids were never allowed on the pitch. They were up in the stand. I think my two girls were on the bus coming back when we won the League Cup with Hibs. Just fantastic, but that was one of the first times they were obviously in the cup final in Germany as well, but usually with the old firm the family weren't involved as much, but to go on the pitch over the last 10-12 years it's just started. It's just fantastic for your family.
What was Paddy McCourt's got up with him. Paddy, fantastic, you're loving this moment,
it's a brilliant moment, I know we won it a few weeks ago, but we never got the trophy in that. But to get the trophy there in front of the full house, brilliant.
What's the future hold for you, Paddy? Are we going to see you here next year?
I'm not sure. I'll sit down at the end of the summer like I do every summer, and I'll speak to people I need to speak to. But to be honest, I'm just thinking about the day at the moment. I'm just going to enjoy it.
Would you like to stay?
I'd like to stay, obviously, but there's obviously playing time and stuff. I don't feel like playing enough, so. But as I say, I'm just going to enjoy the day and then I'll see what happens after that.
It's a special Celtic team, this, isn't it?
The boys have been fantastic all season. The game where we actually won the league at Kilmarnock and then Rangers a couple of weeks ago, and then the day again. Some of the football they play is magnificent.
That day at Kilmarnock in October when Celtic were 3-0 down and Neil, I think, was on the threshold of moving out. It must have been an amazing turnaround that day, wasn't it?
I think the manager came out himself and said, look, he obviously doubted himself at half time, but the lads showed in the second half that they were all behind him, and never looked back since. And the run that we went on after that was something special. And this is we're reaping the rewards today.
I always had the like to watch, Paddy. Thanks a million.
Cheers, thank you.
Paddy McCourt, I want to talk about his future on a day like this, but I'm sure lots of the Celtic fans will be wondering if that is it. It's the last time they'll see him in a Hoops shirt. A lot of the players now coming back and just returning their children to their wives and partners, and they seem to be setting up another team shot photograph across to the left hand side, far side there. And that's the other thing, you always want to be in the photos, you don't want to be the one who's left out of the photos that will still be being printed in the papers and the magazines and online in the years and decades to come. They've put on a bit of a party here. They've now got a solo singer, the young lady across the far side there singing When Will I See You Again, which was a big hit by the 3 Degrees back in the early to mid-70s. I can't imagine why they might have chosen that particular song this afternoon. Little dig, perhaps, at the neighbours across the other side of the city. Or maybe just bidding farewell to the fans, Murdo.
It's Richard, what's happened here is my colleagues at Sky are interviewing Scott Brown. He's the only man missing in the picture. I think my good pal Peter Martin's about to have the Celtic captain whipped from in front of his very cameras. Fraser Forster has gone over there. Scott Brown now been dragged away into the team picture. They're all in it, so we can't speak to it. Emilio Izagirre's decided to go for a little toddle. His young lad away, and you now get the picture. The kids are brilliant. There they go. There's the team picture. Everyone's in it now. That's the one that we're appearing in your papers
well,
tomorrow.
most of them are in it. Charlie Mulgrew's got his back to them all, and he's talking to one of his kids, and Izagirre's just going off for a wee run again. So trying to organise, there must be about 35 people, trying to organise them into a group and get them all together and get that photograph taken. Not the easiest, but most of them, at least, are in there.
Richard, that's one of the photographs you see in 15 years' time. People say, can you sign that? That's when you won the league. And you're not in that picture. That's the worst thing for any football player. So you want to be part of it. You want to be in the picture when it gets printed, and in years to come, the amount of people who will save up these photographs is unbelievable.
Talking of photographs from 50 years ago or thereabouts, someone just early in the day brought up a newspaper clipping for Murdo, which was a photograph of Davy Moyes and
Colin
McAdam, who were modelling for a new hair salon in Balloch.
That was my shot.
Let me try and get a word with Gary Hooper, because he's had quite a good day, hasn't he? Gary, just congratulations. Quite a good way to finish the season, was it not?
It was, yeah. Great performance. I was one away from getting a double hat trick. Paddy overcooked the pass. But I'll take the 5 goals, and only need 1 for the golden boot. And in the end, it's going to be a good day.
That's a professional football player for you. In Mumford, he got 5, but I could have had 6.
Could have had 6, or could have had a few more, the whole team. But the performance is unbelievable from the start to the end. I don't think Hearts had. I think they had 1 shot. But we're going to have a good celebration now, and we'll go from there.
I know you always a wee personal bet with Anthony Stokes, but you blew him away today, did you not?
Yeah, he ain't catching me no more. Yeah, 29 for me, 22 in the league.
You actually finished
24 in the league, sorry.
You actually finished the top scorer in the country. Farida Agui at Falkirk was quite ahead of you, but your 5 goals and you take you right to the top scorer in Scotland.
Yeah.
That was Fraser Foster.
Yeah,
I didn't want to warn you, not
scoring 5 goals is hard to do in any game, but today has been really good. The fans are unbelievable. We celebrated as champions, and it showed why we're champions today.
Absolutely deserved it. You're going to be in demand. Do you want to be staying here at Celtic?
I'm happy. It showed today. We won the league. Come from 15 points behind to win it. By if you take the deduction out of it, by 10, 11 points. So the team's unbelievable. Now it's Champions League next year.
Well, it was about another 8 scarves you can wear. I think we've got 7 on already.
It's keeping me warm. It's cold out there.
Good man, Gary. Congratulations.
Yeah, Gary Hooper, why would you not want to stay at a club where you have done what he has done in the past couple of seasons? Remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Just to recap, 5 goals for Hooper today. Only the 3rd player in SPL history to do it. Lots of people, of course, well, not lots, but a number did it back in the old Scottish Football League, in the Premier Division, in the various formats down the years. But as for the SPL, only Kenny Miller once and Chris Boyd twice, and both of his once each for Kilmarnock and Rangers, both against Dundee United. And now you can add Gary Hooper to that list. And as Sick was saying, not only SPL top scorer, Celtic's top scorer, but he's also top scorer in the whole of Scottish football, because
let me cut across you, Richard.
Okay.
Birham Kyle, that was great for you to get back in the team today, last day.
Yeah, I think it's a great moment. I want to enjoy with the team. It's brilliant season. We win the league, and I think it's the big something for me to come back and play the last game in the season. And thanks a lot for everyone here to give me this chance to come back and play.
The injury was very disappointing for you, wasn't it?
Of course, it's bad timing. I missed 3-4 months, and it's not easy to be outside. But I take it a good something with this season. We win the league, and I hope so I come next season more stronger.
You were absolutely desperate to go on today. You're just about tapping Alan Thompson on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Let me go on, weren't you?
I think it's big transfer. This fans is absolutely great. They want to win the league for this fans, because 4 years is too much for this fans not to win the league.
So many good players. Emilio Izagirre down there with his little lad, and you know you've got real quality international players. I often wonder actually with the language thing. Do you all understand one another?
Yeah, of course. The first when I came here is too hard for me, but now it's much better. My English is great,
I think I have good friend here, a Scottish friend for everywhere, and I think everyone help. We have good talent in this team and young players, and we can do success also in Europe next year.
Good man, Baram.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. Thank you.
Baram Kayal, just the latest of the number of players that Chicks wandering around getting the thoughts. So very special afternoon for them all. The vast majority of the fans now have either left or are leaving the stadium. A few just quite often you'll see, rather than going out close to where they've been sitting, they'll walk around the inside the stadium and get a more suitable exit, and just keeping an eye on what's happening down there. Not an awful lot still to see. It is a case of just a few players still milling around, a few photographs still being taken, and the podium is being disassembled out in the centre circle. Chicks just trying to find any more likely candidates to interview. We'll be staying with you incidentally till about 4:45. I think that's our off-air time this afternoon, so still chance for further reaction from here, and of course from the two other grounds where there was action this afternoon. Wins from Dundee United and from Rangers, and of course the day in which Rangers Charles Green was confirmed as having signed a deal.
Here's a man I must speak to, Richard. Mark Wilson. Mark, who's leaving the club. Are you emotional?
Of course it's always emotional leaving, but to leave in this snow it's even harder, because you want to experience more of this. But I was lucky enough to experience a good few in my time here, so sometimes you just need to move on, And
what happens next, Mark? Where are you going to end up?
No idea, no plans as such just now. Go away on holiday and then worry about it at the end of June, really.
It's a good time to advertise the BBC. You're available.
As I'm free, I'm available. Come and get me.
Not free. No. A good price to your head. Highlight of your time at Celtic, Mark?
I mean, winning three league titles and being involved in this one as well, to make it my fourth, is obviously a massive achievement for me personally. Scoring against Rangers also was a highlight that I enjoyed, but I mean there's been so many over the years.
You've still got a lot to give the game, haven't you?
Of course, well I hope so. I mean only 27, so still a lot of years left.
And hopefully a return to Scotland.
Well, it'd be nice, but obviously I need to get a club first and bed myself in and perform well.
You're leaving a smile on your face. Well done, Mark.
Cheers, Chick. Thank you.
Yeah, Mark Wilson there. Incredible, isn't it, when it seems like he's been around forever. Only 27, Mark, and a couple of seasons ago he had a magnificent run in that team. And the fact that there he is, the Rangers have won the last three. That's his fourth title, so it just shows how incredible. I didn't realise he was quite so young when he'd gone to Celtic, I must admit. Anyway, he's done really, really well for Celtic. He has had his injury problems, but clearly has had a major part to play for them. Not quite such a major part this season. At least he got a final taste in the game against St Johnstone, didn't he? And he's been here this afternoon and very much been part of the celebrations, and he's getting a few family snaps taken there with his kids, and the trophy down there on the pitch. Still, I think most of the Celtic players are away. Dylan McGeoch, I see, is still out there on the pitch. He's playing football with one or two kids. I think that's Neil Lennon's child out there as well, getting gathered up. The ground staff are appearing immediately as the podium is, as I say, as it's taken down. They've got the mowers out already on the grass. They're blowing up and sucking up all the ticker tape that was fed onto the pitch there. The goals have been, the nets have been lifted, and they're just clearing the rubbish from the pitch. From the fans still in the main stand here, a round of applause and some acclaim there for Mark Wilson and for Emilio Izaguirre and for Dylan McGeoch as they may make their way up the tunnel. That's it. Thanks for listening. Remember to keep it right up to date with all the very latest Scottish football news. bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, Radio Scotland 810 medium wave, 92 to 95 FM, online and on digital.
The Scottish Football Podcast from BBC Radio Scotland.
This isn't the end, this is just the beginning. All season. I think a lot of other people in the game here need to have a good look at themselves in the mirror.
We want to wish you all the very best for next Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Neil Lennon.